story is told of a tourist who went to visit a cathedral construction site. In Europe, in the years gone by, the biggest architectural wonder was always a cathedral. But the Pope was in charge of the whole of Europe. So the kings used to report to the Pope. So when you built a cathedral, which was the seat of the bishop of that country, it would have to be the best building in the country. So a tourist went to see a building under construction. And it was, because the cathedral is very big, as he was moving from one corner of the building, he found a mason. People are mason. Where is Jerry? The people who work with stones are called? Or bricklayers. Bricklayer is still a good name. Yes. Yeah. So he asked the man, "What are you doing?" And the person continued working and said, "I'm laying the bricks. It's too obvious. He's putting one stone on top of the other one." And the guy was not willing to talk much. He continued doing. You could tell that guy was not motivated. Remember the people we have been talking about who just work to make money? Or work to feed the family? It was that level. What are you asking me? I'm simply laying one brick on top of the other. You can tell by the answer the motivational level of such a guy. And even at work, there are people. What is your job? I teach electrical. You know, I'm just a teacher. Sure. Or I teach like Jerry, I teach building, construction. Now, when you just see your job as just that, you have a problem with motivation. You are likely to be doing the job just to pay your students' school fees or to have something to live on. So this guy left that one corner and went to another part of the construction site. And he found another bricklayer. Jerry, a mason is also a bricklayer, am I right? Yeah, so it's okay if I call him a bricklayer. Yeah. He found this other bricklayer. He exactly the same thing as the other one. Then he asked him, "Hello, what are you doing?" The guy straightened up, looked at the tourist, and he told him, "I am building a cathedral." Now, between the first guy and the second guy, who do you think is motivated? You know, this other one is just putting one stone on top of the other. This other one is not thinking of what he's doing now. He's thinking of the completed project. And you know, a cathedral made you famous. Because there's only one cathedral in the whole country. It meant, as an old man, you tell you are going to get children. Do you see that cathedral? I was the bricklayer. So he already is excited about his old age. Because he is looking at the building in completeness. I want to ask you the question. The job you do you see its complete work? Or do you just see what you do every day? Today I'm teaching, I don't know what Jerry teaches, but let's say teach people the strength of materials. Is there something like that? Yeah. Now, if that's what you are teaching, the students, that's a boring topic, isn't it? But if they could receive the totality, you are teaching them how to create residences for people to live in. Now, it's the same job you are doing, but one motivates, the other one is boring. Are we together?
Yes.
So, it's important that you as a supervisor redefine the job of your juniors until it can be defined as the final why you do the job. Not just the job itself, but why you do the job. And I wonder whether all the tasks that are done in CITC can actually be produced to their final result. Why do we do what we do? For example, where is my friend from catering? There's another one. Are you also from catering? Okay. Catering. Now, if their job is just to chonga ugali, that's a very boring job, isn't it? But if their job is to ensure we graduate healthy people, Now that's different, isn't it? Yes. So you need to ask yourself, why do I cook? Why do I teach? So that you see the end result. And as soon as you see the end product, it excites you. If I see myself as a job is to talk CITC staff, that's boring. When I see myself is to get a CITC producing students to go and change the world, I want to be associated with it. So it's important to understand the bricklayer, by the answer he gives, can tell you whether in the morning he has been beaten up by the oil to come out of bed, or whether the oil will tell you, no, it's not right. Why are you waking up so early? The difference depends on how do you see your job. But I said you are 3 bricklayers. May I go to that one? Yes. So the tourist went to a third corner and he asked, a same bricklayer doing exactly the same thing. He asked him, how are you? Yes. What are you doing? The guy straightened up, kept the tools down, looked at the tourist and he said, I'm depopulating hell and filling out heaven. Hey, this guy was not building a cathedral. He went beyond the cathedral to looking at the bishop in the place where drunkards will come, they will be taught God's word, and they stop going to hell. Is that going? He saw himself as an evangelist. Because he knew without cathedral, there will be no bishop. Therefore, people will not get saved. So he saw himself as a partner with the bishop in depopulating hell and populating heaven. Between the 3 guys, the first, the second, and the third, who is more motivated? The third. Because for him, he feels like he is serving the Lord. He's not serving the construction manager. What do you call a construction site manager? Is that the right title?
A foreman.
Foreman. He is not serving the foreman. He is not even serving the owner of the cathedral. He is serving God. Let me ask you. Can you see your job as appointed by God? See yourself as serving God? If you can't see yourself serving God, you have a new problem. That's why, for example, I for one would never work for Blue Eyes. Why? Because when I've seen how many homes have been destroyed by alcohol, I would never want to be one who contributes. Because you see, you must see your job with its final result. And if the final result is destroying people's homes, would you want to be associated with it? No. You know, even a sweeper in breweries, why are you sweeping? You know, the work of a guy who is sweeping is to ensure the place is clean so that dust does not get to alcohol, so that alcohol is made so that people can get drunk. So the sweeper, his mission is to get people drunk. If you're an accountant, if you're a stock accountant, what is your job? To ensure the stock systems are such that no village runs out of stock. So whoever wants to get drunk can get drunk. So the work of a stock accountant is to ensure as many people as possible are getting drunk. So you must always see the final result of what you do. And if the final result is not exciting, you yourself will not get. You don't make the money, but you don't see. So you must do a job where if you look at it, you can say, this I'm doing in order to glorify God. And you know, for those of you who are Christians, it's not a joke. Can someone read for me Colossians 3:17? Colossians 3:17. Who had the NIV? It was Jerry. Okay, whichever.
Colossians 3:17. Everything you do or say then should be done in the name of the Lord Jesus, as you give thanks through him to God the Father.
How many things should be done in the name of the Lord?
Everything.
Everything. What does everything include? What does everything include? Everything. What does everything exclude? Nothing. Once you say everything, nothing is excluded. Am I right?
Yes.
That means if you go to the toilet and you leave the toilet dirty, you must say, I've left this toilet dirty in the name. Remember, you are told everything must be done in the name. That is if you are a Christian. The day you say I'm a Christian, from then everything you do must be done in the name. Maybe they think I'm treating it up. Read it in the NIV.
NIV says,
Yeah.
verse 17.
Yeah.
It says, and whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus.
Whether it is something you are saying or something you are doing, whatever. What does whatever exclude? What does whatever include? So the toilet is included. Okay, my point.
Yes.
So that it means that you must find in your job something that is, you can say, I'm doing this. For example, if it's rather warm and I want the door open and I whisper to my friend to get the door open, then she could say, the neighbor asks, why are you opening the door? I'm opening it in the name of Nana. Are you getting my point? Because it's Nana who wanted it. Yeah. If I'm feeling hot, I'm feeling cold, and I don't want the door open, and then you tell your neighbor, I'm opening in the name of Nana. Is that true? No. For you to do in my name, it must be what I want, isn't it? You can't do something in my name if I don't want it. So for you to do something in the name of the Lord, you must do what the Lord wants. So that means any job you do, you must draw it to whether you can say, I'm doing it in the name of the Lord. And that means some jobs you can't do. A drug trafficker can decide to pay you a lot of money, which the ATC can never pay you. But before you do it, say, I'm going to get people's children drug addicts to become drug addicts in the name of the Lord. Now if you can't say in the name of the Lord, then you can't do it. Okay, my point? Anything you can't say you are doing in the name of the Lord, you can't do. My friend, you can't beat up your wife in the name of the Lord. Now if you can't do it, remember, even how you handle your wife is part of whatever. And we said whatever includes. Yeah, so you can say, I'm beating you in the name of the Lord. You have to show the chapter and verse that allows you to do that. So I wanted you to understand this afternoon that your work, you must check whether you are doing it in the name of the Lord. If you are doing it in the name of the Lord, then three things follow. Number one, you will not require any supervision. Because if you are doing it in the name of the Lord, then your boss may be there or not there. But you'll do it well because your real boss is God. Now, Jerry, now go to verse 23. You know, it's just that your name entered my head. I don't know the other names. Yes, we read 17, now go to 23.
Verse 23 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters.
Are you hearing? The first thing is, the moment your job ceases to be done just for human beings, you are not just laying the bricks. You are not just building a cathedral. You are serving the Lord by creating opportunity for people to go to heaven. Once you see it rightly, then as you are laying your bricks, you realize your real boss is God. Saying whatever you do, you must do it as unto the Lord. Let me read again. I want it to be something you can quote. That is chapter 3, verse 23.
Colossians 3:23. It says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters.
Now read on 24.
Since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward, it is the Lord Christ you are serving. Anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism.
With God there is no? Or tribalism. So God will reward you exactly the way you did. So you must cease to work. Whenever you feel the boss is coming, please remember you're on your way to hell. Am I communicating? You know that means you are no longer obeying the scripture. You know some people think they are on the 10 commandments. Have you had one more? Whatever you do it in the name of God. Whatever you do, you must do it not for man but
For God.
so if you break that commandment, the other one commits adultery. You will both meet in hell. And it will be same temperature. It will not matter. You will never commit adultery. But you disobey the Bible. Same hell, same temperature. So it's important to understand clearly. One of the ways of knowing you are not a Christian is if you work different when the boss is there. Because you must understand God wants us to work with Him as the real boss. And He is saying, even if the boss doesn't reward you, God Himself will. And if the boss doesn't punish you, God Himself will. It is not what Jerry has read.
Yes.
So it's important to understand it changes. When you start working in this sense, it changes everything. You know, I was distribution manager for Shell for 8 years. And in your working life, 8 years is a long time, isn't it? After I had been distribution manager and distribution manager is one level below the top 5. So, to move beyond that to the top 5, the vacancies are very few. But after six years, somebody came to ask me, Nganga, you work so hard, but they're not promoting you. How can you continue working like hard? I said, you don't understand, I'm a Christian. I'm not working for promotion.
Yes.
I'm working for heaven. Are we together?
Yes.
Changes everything, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you cannot start working less because you have no promotion. If you don't want to go to hell, please resign. I'm not communicating. Because to stay on the job and you know you are not fully pulling your weight means you are actually signing up for going to hell. Because you see, you are supposed to be working for the Lord, but you are so annoyed because they have refused your promotion. You are no longer working your best. The boss will not fire you, but what he has read is you expect a punishment for God. And he shows no. Am I communicating? So the best thing is to resign. So I said, now, why would I? First of all, as review manager, I am doing so much good, helping so many people, and you know my clients do not know whether promotion or not promotion. They are happy with my service, isn't it? So this other matter is a matter of the bank. You know what is going to the bank. But it never took long before, after another 2 years, I finally reached top management. But somebody was already giving up in advance. Now it's important to understand that I am actually suggesting it's okay to resign. Don't stay in the job. If you cannot do your best there, don't stay in the job. But if you choose to stay, and if you're earning a salary and not stealing it, then you must do your very best. One of the books I've written is called Integrity. And it's called Integrity, the Litmus Test of Good Leadership. And I argue in the book, a lot of people think stealing is breaking a bank. But if you're employed to work 8 hours, and out of those 8 hours, you only work 2. The other 6 you are talking to people. You are a thief. Because you should go to HR and say, HR, this month don't pay the total salary. About half of the time, I was figuring Mudomo. And because I don't want to go to hell, please don't pay me. Because if you accept the money, you are a thief. But if you tell HR to stay with it, you still go to heaven. Are we together? Because you are paid for the work you did. Now, so it's important to start understanding that when you sign a contract to work for 8 hours, then you work for less. You are actually a thief. Not a thief of money, a thief of time. It's the same thing. When you backstab, and go and give a story about Jerry, which is not true. Until the company is even punishing her, you are a thief of reputation. Yeah. Jerry had a wonderful reputation until you destroyed it. So when things go to hell, you also join them. Same temperature. But you never store money, you store reputation. Am I communicating? So it's important to understand as we operate what motivates us to do what you do. It needs, and my emphasis is the fact that I am depopulating hell and populating heaven. You must look at your work and see what it is. And that does not mean that your boss cannot be unreasonable. But the Bible, Jerry has read that your real boss is not the other one. Your real boss is? And that one doesn't suffer from myopic eyesight. Where there's, the boss can be seeing the wrong thing, isn't it? Yeah. That one in heaven knows the truth. They know how much hard work you did, even if the other one is not seeing. And I think it's an important thing. So you need to ask yourself, as you work, what is the approach? We are talking about low morale. If you are operating like the third bricklayer, can you have low morale? No. Because you know God knows you. You know how good God is. Because maybe the salary is not high, but your children have been healthy. As you think about how God has given your family health, will you play with your work? No. When you see it as coming from God, will you play with them? Maybe somebody has backstabbed you. And so you feel like messing up CITC. Until you realize, I'm working CITC to honor God. Once that enters your mind, you realize the good the Lord has done. Can you start messing up CITC? No. Because now you are now dealing with God Himself. You also cannot lack self-initiative and drive. What we talked about earlier in the morning. Why? You know the capacity God has given you, and you cannot play around with it. You have creativity. Imagination of being on low base or not giving one's best will die. And therefore, there will be achievement of team goals and plans, and it will be possible to embrace change. Because you are going to be creative, you'll be suggesting things to improve things. CITC will be on a continuous improvement mode. And therefore there will be change. And you'll be cooperating on change. Anything that can make CITC better, you'll be willing to be on it. And so there will be clear performance management. You'll be driven by performance, not by backbiting or boot-licking. Those are not the things that will help you. All that's why it's so important to ask yourself, are you a bricklayer, a cathedral builder, or somebody populating heaven? What is your attitude? I have emphasized throughout the day, and I finish with it, your motivation must be internal. You must not work hard enough to impress someone. You must not work hard because of what somebody else did for you. You must work hard because it's your mission in life. Are we together? Yes. That's what we are really emphasizing. If your motivation is external, chances are it will run out because external resources have ways of running out. Whatever it is, if it's an external resource. For example, you are given a high salary. Like I used to work for a Paraceto bank. Then Shell poached me. They came to where I was working and asked whether I could join them. Because I didn't want to go, I told them to double my salary. I thought they would leave me alone. But they still agreed to double my salary. So when I went to Shell and double the salary, I looked at them, these people must be rich. It took me a very short time to understand they are frustrated as where I was working. Because extra money does not give you motivation. And anyway, after some time, my double salary, I was still going home to my mother with the 3 kilos I had before. Because with my lower salary, I didn't have a car. Now if that was a salary, I got my car. And with a car, I used to live in Buruguru. Going to town used to be 1 shilling 50. That is in 1970s. the bus was 1 shilling and 50 cents. So to and from, my total budget was 3 shillings. The day I bought a car, it became petrol then was 7 shillings and 50 cents per liter. Now, going about 12 kilometers and back, it was actually costing me 20 shillings. Are you getting my point? Yes. So my cost, remember the salary has not changed. My cost has risen from 3 shillings per day to 20 shillings. And my salary was only double. Are you getting my point? Yes. So after that, I would drive to Kinabok, my mother's place, to say, hey, the son of so and so has gotten rich. But my mother gets nothing. You know the truth is, I have less money, not more money. I'm not communicating. So you need to understand, I don't mind extra money, but it will not necessarily motivate. It's a very temporary motivation. Because you always learn how to live with more money. Because as long as I was with the bank, I didn't think of a car. Now with the extra salary, and there's a facility for a car, I signed for a new car. So, 3 problems. The transport cost has gone up. Now my salary must be deducted to pay for the loan. Am I communicating? Yes. And now that earlier I could go home on a matatu, if I drive, are you getting my point? Yes. So it's important to understand that, and I'm not suggesting HR do not increase your salary. I'm only saying external motivation. Anything you do to motivate someone externally would be temporary. It doesn't last very long. That's what I'm trying to explain to you in many words. But let me give a few more reasons. External motivation runs out for 3 reasons. Why it runs out? Number 1, the outsider who is giving you motivation to continue encouraging you means he must remain happy with you. If there is a guy who makes you happy, like the boss is so happy with you, so he's always telling you how wonderful you are during the meeting, he always recognizes you the way I'm recognizing Jerry all the time. Now, so within no time, Jerry will work very hard to ensure that Nganga remains happy. The trouble with Nganga is that after some time, he is seated next to Otieno, and Otieno says, hey, Jerry, hey, I saw her somewhere. Now, from then onwards, I look at them very differently. And then what does not happen? So for me to continue motivating you, I must continue being happy with you. As soon as he thinks he does not like what you are doing, will he encourage you again? No. So if you rely on outside motivation, be ready to soon lose it. Or be on a roller coaster. Up, down, because human beings are not constant. Are we together? Yes. You must find a motivation that can last, and only eternal motivation. So that's the first problem of external motivation. It changes. For example, when Shell doubles my salary, I felt very happy. Only to go to the place and discover others are not motivated. What was worse is that during my class performance appraisal, my new boss said, what's wrong with your salary? When you looked at my father, what's wrong with your salary? I said, what do you mean? The salary they are paying you is of a new graduate. That means the parastatal paying me so little, yes, that when they doubled it, it was an entry salary for a new graduate. But me, I'm thinking I have been very Now, the boss had to go to HR. Those days used to call them personnel. Had to go to personnel to say, hey, something wrong. So I got another adjustment after the first year. Because I had been working for a number of years. So now the salary had to be adjusted to reflect the fact that I'm not a new graduate. That's actually my point. What do you think I felt? Taken for a ride. And yet to near the mistake, it was my mistake. I'm the one who asked for double. I should ask for triple. But I didn't. So it's important to understand your motivation just goes down. How can they take me for a ride? Why did they give me the money for? Now you feel bad. Anything external is not likely to last. And you need to think about that. The other reason why external motivation cannot be relied on is that it makes external motivation a problem. What makes it a problem is that the man is a fallen creature and nobody wants to be outdone. So when I keep recognizing you are doing better, it might imply I'm not doing well myself. In other words, somehow even your boss can start one a week. Am I communicating? Yeah, you're doing so well, always so well, always so well. We got a gigamba. So they will start to bring you down to your size. Have you seen that? Yeah. Even a child who is doing well in school, sometimes you know the child. You understand what I mean? Yeah. People want to manage you. Even when you do well, they don't want to tell you doing well. You'll be proud. Yeah. So in order to manage your pride, they don't tell you even when you do, you do well. Is that human? Yes. It's human. So if you're relying on external motivation, sometimes you think I've done something wrong. You have done nothing wrong. They are just jealous. Am I communicating? Yes. So you don't start, if you rely on external motivation, you will be on a roller coaster, like I said earlier. Because people will not, and that can really be your own mother. You start doing something, and she thinks you'll be proud. So she keeps talking about your other brother who does evil. But now it's talking about how good he is. Mom, how can you say that? It's because she's trying to bring you to size. So that you don't think you are the only son. So they make the other son also look good. So if you're relying on people's comments, including your mother's, you will never be motivated. You are going to reduce your work, your hard work, because you are feeling discouraged. But when it's internal, it doesn't matter what your mother says, you still do your best. Are we together? Yes. And that's why you do not rely on external motivation. Man is a foreign creature, so they will have a problem with you. But if I'm talking about how great you are doing, people start wondering whether the boss needs any respect. They feel the department had better be run by the real performer. When I keep saying how wonderful you are doing, people find out. In fact, I remember doing that with one of my staff. Every time we are doing performance appraisal, I wanted him to get the highest. So I used to defend his performance. Until one person, one of my colleagues said, "Hey, Nana, do you ever do any work? It sounds like this guy of yours does everything." In other words, he was telling me to understand. The more I keep praising him, the less the boss will think about me. Are you getting my point? Yes. And if I was not a Christian, I would start toning down how well he is performing, in order for me not to be thought I'm also working. So you need to understand clearly that sometimes the reason why we reduce congratulating you is so that we can also be seen to do. So that sometimes you hear your boss is starting to talk like the one who did what you actually did. Don't blame him, he is human. So you must find a way of knowing that you have performed well and be motivated, whether your boss says it or not. It's important to understand that. So that's what I'm trying to get you to. The fourth and last reason I want to give as to why you need what I've been talking about the whole day. Internal motivation. This should be fourth. External motivation runs out because you know yourself better than the one encouraging you knows you. So you know he may be talking out of ignorance. People keep saying Jerry is wonderful. Oh, Jerry is wonderful. Jerry knows he has just performed bad. But of course he keeps quiet. So, how can you be motivated when you know Nana is speaking out of ignorance? Am I communicating? Yeah, that after some time you'll be honest and say, if you have to be honest, the boss doesn't know me. He doesn't know I could do better. It's only that I'm lazy. The little they see, they think I'm performing well. So, after a bit of rise and feeling like things were wonderful, you will be brought to your level. I'm not as good as the boss. And because you know the truth about yourself, you are more likely to agree with yourself than with your boss. Are you getting the stage of external feeling you are a hard worker because somebody said it? You know the truth he doesn't know, isn't it? For example, you may be performing, like there's a year I was feeling unwell. And you don't tell everybody how badly you are feeling, isn't it? They might be frightened. So, by the time they are praising you, say, what's wrong with you? This year you have not done well. And they can quarrel, but you know the truth. You are not feeling well. So, although they think they are discouraged, you can't be discouraged. Because you know even what you performed was miraculous. It was by the grace of God. So, can you see why you are better, between you and God, you are better than relying on others? It's important to understand that. So don't rely on what the others are saying. Lastly, external motivation comes from motto man. You must know his motto. Your uncle may be the one who has given you the motivation. The next time he's knocked by a car and he's no longer alive, what happens to you? Sometimes it's the boss who has created you. Then he gets a better job and leaves the company. Okay, my point? Yes. So it's important to understand clearly the external motive. I hope I've convinced you that you need something. What makes you wake up in the morning had better be not relying on somebody else. You need it to come from internal sources, because that will be important. And I want to open for questions, but before then, let me say a few things. So why do we work? And we are finishing. Mature human beings seek not only a decent salary. We don't work just for a decent salary. And interesting things to do. In other words, we work, there's a salary. Number two, we enjoy what you do, because you enjoy what you are doing. But number three, we also work as a means of developing ourselves to serve others and to find a sense of meaning work. So, that's number one. Number two, but my emphasis is number three, as a means to develop ourselves. We say God created us in His image. God is a worker, we also must be workers. Number two, God is creative. So God is a creator. So, a creator. Similarly, if you are created in God's image, you need to be creative. That's why your work is boring, because you are doing it exactly the way you were doing it last year. You need to continuously improve how you are doing things. There's a way you taught last year, don't teach it the same way this year. You be creative. This class should experience a new teacher compared with last year's class. And when you are doing it in a new way, you yourself will enjoy it, and the children also enjoy it. But when you just keep reading the notes you wrote that years ago, you yourself will not enjoy the job. Are we together? So you need to be creative. Think about it. This is the way I taught last year. These are the marks they got. How could I teach differently? Are we together? So you should never, when you go to a new job, the first task is to see how the job is done. Don't change it. Understand it fully. Do it exactly the way it was being done before. Because you might change something good to get something worse. So first of all, understand it. After you have fully understood it, ask yourself, why is this job done? Don't worry about the mechanics of how it is done. Why is it done? Ask yourself, how can I achieve the why without necessarily doing the how, the way the how has always been done? Because the critical thing is not the how, the critical thing is the why. So, by answering that question, you end up with a different answer every year. For three reasons. The students are different, isn't it? Yes. Sometimes you get a dull class. You can't teach them like a bright class, isn't it? Yes. So you need to think, how do you deal with this issue? Number two, you yourself know more, isn't it, than last year. So you should be able to use the new knowledge in order to deal with it. Number three, even the exams may change. Am I right? Yes. So you need to be creative on a daily basis. So when you do things the same way, you will not enjoy your teaching, you will not enjoy your working. So you must always, after learning how the things are done, then concentrate on the why and how you can do things differently and arrive at the same why. Are we together? In doing so, you end up being efficient and effective. What's the difference between effective and efficient? You can be effective without being efficient. And you can be efficient, and I'm not sure about how effective you are. Because effective means what you wanted to do, you achieved. That is, you are effective. Effective is to achieve what you set out to achieve. Efficient is to do so at optimum cost. Are we together? So you are efficient. You are able to do it with the minimum cost, with the minimum time. That's then efficient. You can be effective without being. You can be effective without being efficient. So for efficiency, it is something that's continuous. You are going to do. So it's important to understand then what we are saying, that work gives you opportunity to be creative and to develop yourself. You need to work on your CV continuously. How do you work on it? By getting new experiences every year. Even if you are doing the same job, like my being distribution manager for 8 years. You can do something differently continuously. So that people see the same job, but how you are doing it has changed over time. So you need to ask yourself, do you see creativity? Work is opportunity. You don't know, to be jobless is very dehumanizing. Because it deprives you opportunity to be creative. And because God created to be creative, if you just sleep, you soon enough, you degenerate mentally. So when you have an opportunity, that's why I keep encouraging young people, go and offer yourself free service. Do something, even if not for salary. Why? It will give you meaning in life. You will sleep happy every day, even if you're only eating air burgers, you can't have money to buy burgers, so you eat air burgers. But you will sleep happy. So it's critical to understand that is an inner, that's the way God created us. We enjoy life when you feel we are contributing something to society. And that's what the job gives you. But related with the same is that it's serving others. It's giving you, it's developing you to be a better person. It's also serving others. So you must see what has changed because you are in the job. Who have you helped? One of the things I used to commit myself when I was in Shell is that when I got into a new department, I would analyze everybody's file. My commitment is by the time I'm out of that department, people will be better than they were. So I counted how many people got promoted when I was supervising them. Because that's my job. I mean, as a supervisor, they are the ones doing the real work, isn't it? My job is to develop them. So if they are exactly where I found them, I'm a failure, isn't it? So it's my responsibility to ensure these people are better than where I found them. So when I found guys, everybody is, I was a manager in Kisumu, and then now we meet as pensioners. And remember, I got out of promotion, got out of promotion, got out of promotion. How do you think I feel as an old man? Very excited. I will jump on them, they were my subordinate, but now we jump as two wazers. Now it's an exciting life. So you need to ask yourself, because I'm telling you, it's not just creativity that gives you joy. It's contributing to other people's lives. And you need to understand the people you work with. If you work with somebody, your boss, give him support until he gets a bigger promotion. Even if you don't get promotion yourself, you always tell, he may not admit, but you say, I'm going to admit him. He got promotion because of me. Because I helped him until he started shining. Am I communicating? Yes. And although you don't get any promotion yourself, you feel you contributed to somebody's life. That's what joyful lives are made up of. Seeing other people shine. I recruited some young people and helped them. Within no time, they got international jobs. You hear one is in America, another one is in Singapore, the other one is in Britain. And because they are working for large companies, within no time, they are in my job group. After some time, they are senior to me and they are two young people. And I feel, wow, God, thank you for opportunity. I'm not to get a small boy like this to be talking to the whole world. And without me, I would have broke his root, isn't it? Yes. So it makes me happy, it gives me joy to see what I'm producing. So you need to ask yourself, do you have that interest? And by the way, all these things are for selfish reasons. It's for your own good. You are contributing to them for their good, but in the process, it's giving you joy. Am I right?
Yeah.
So that's what we are saying. You are serving others. And then, finally, it gives you a sense of meaning. You feel like I count before God. I was created for a reason. I'm not trash. I'm something important. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
All that you are getting because of working in CITC. Are you getting my point? That because you came to CITC, you find meaning in your life. The impact you're making among the students, the impact you're making among the workers gives you meaning. And I think that's what you need to ask yourself. Is that true in your own life? Is that something you can say is happening? One is to give a man a chance to utilize and develop his faculties. So, work gives you a chance to utilize and develop. Number two, work provides opportunity to make truly useful friends. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
I told you, however much you are in love with your Valentine, you can't give up more than 2 hours a day, so per day. Are we together?
Yes.
Your workmates are your real friends. In my vernacular, we say, when a tree falls, it can only strike the one who is near. And because your workmates are the ones who are near, you are either going to be bad to them or good to them. Am I communicating?
Yes.
So your real friends are your workmates. Are we together? I know you are friends in church, but you meet them for 2 hours. So it's important to understand that workplace is opportunity for making friends. So you must ask yourself, what are you contributing to your place of work? How am I helpful to my workmates? Remember, man is not created to be dependent. He is created to be interdependent. And I want to finish with that one. There are 3 categories of people. Number 1 are people who are dependent. Dependent people feel like the world owes them. They always say, my mother never did this, she did that. You feel like, even if you are an adult, you cry like a baby. Every time you visit your mother, is complain how much he loves others and doesn't love you. That's a dependent. And sometimes you can find husbands who are dependent on their wives. They are always complaining to the wife. Now, they don't think of what they can contribute. They think of what they can get. Dependence is unchristian. If you want to know it, please go to 1 Thessalonians, Jerry 4, 11 and 12. Just so that you understand this idea of work helps you to get meaning in life. 1 Thessalonians, is it 4, 11 and 12? What does 11 say?
1 Corinthians 4.
Thessalonians.
Thessalonians 4:11. And with your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and run with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody.
What is the instruction for all Christians? That their life will not be. Read it again, the last phrase. So that your life.
So that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anybody.
Are you hearing that? I told you they are not just the requirements. Here one more. You must not be dependent on anyone. When I read the first thing, I said, is it true? Can you read the beginning? Verse 11 again.
Okay, 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11, it says, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business.
I read that and I said, sure, it is rude. The Bible is telling you to mind your own business. So, dependent people make their business other people's business. So, if you're that kind of a person, that's not what the Christian is expected. You are supposed to look after yourself and then you start benefiting others. Your interest should be to earn enough money or live within your means and then remain a little money to give others. You should not be the one, you are adults and your brothers are always donating to you. If they are donating to you, you should not be donating to them. You must learn to live within your means. And don't quote me. Your word is in the Bible. Don't be dependent on others. So you need to look at the way you are living. Is there some of your expenses that are being funded externally. And you know something? You can actually live within your means. I told you I was earning at half the salary and I was happy. I did not even want to go to Shell. They had to persuade me. I went double the salary and I was still struggling. The money was too little. Are we getting the difference? Even if you double it, it's still too little. And even if it's a half, it's still enough. So that the amount of money is not the issue. You must learn to live within your means. Within your means. So the first thing you need to understand is your worker. You must, whatever, however little money you are receiving, you can live within the means. You know, when I was still working for the bank, I went to assess a company that required a loan. That's 1977 or 78. I went to assess an organization, and it does already. Of course, I'm a young man, so you can imagine I was a much younger man. So I contacted them for their files, I'm analyzing how they are performing, and then I saw a house in the report. It showed a house which was being paid for 45,000 shillings per month. I thought there's an error. So I asked Mzungu, who was the managing director, to explain, there's an error in these books. So he asked, what is it? There's a house where somebody is claiming that he paid for the house 45,000 shillings a month. It turned out it was the Mzungu's house in Lavington. But you see, I was staying in Nairobi, in the houses in Buruburu were 900 shillings per month. Times 12?
Per month.
Yeah. No, multiply 9 times 12. Are you getting my point? Yes. So there is no way as a young man I could imagine there is a house which you pay in 1 month. And remember, the 145 and the other 900 are both nice houses. Brooklyn was new then. So they are beautiful. But when I compare with the way I came in the village, I was feeling very rich. Now, my house is okay, my bed is okay. That's what I'm telling you, you can fit in any salary. Because you see, the bed you have in Buruburu, you can move it to Lavington. Am I communicating? And even if you buy a more expensive one, you can only stay 2 feet. Am I communicating? So it's important to understand you have no reason to be depending on other people. You know the idea of borrowing, always borrowing. You know there are people who by the end of the month, they never earn their salary. They only collect it for others. And then they start borrowing again. Now you need to understand it is possible to break that. Are we together? And if you don't break it, your stress levels will go up. Not the good stress, but the negative stress. So why are you punishing yourself? What have you done to deserve a punishment? And when you live outside your means, you are punishing yourself. So it's important to understand. Live an independent life. Means you are not dependent on others. But that's one category of people. The second category of people are people who are independent. What is an independent person? It's a person who lives by themselves, don't care about others, don't want to know what happens. Not only don't they don't ask the mother anything, nor do they give mother anything. Yeah, because for them, all the money is for me and myself. But you know, the verse she was reading was not just think about. Can you repeat verse 11 and 12 again?
And it says, and to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, and so that you will not be dependent on anyone.
Yeah. So you are doing all that so to have a positive impact on others. So you may need to get involved in the lives of others. You cannot be a Christian and live independent, where you don't care what happens to others. You know, if you are happy to go to heaven alone, my friend, without others, you are not going to Christ's heaven. One of the ways of knowing you are going to Christ's heaven is that you don't want to go there alone. You are interested in the lives of others. So, you really, as you work, you must be interested in your workmates. You yourself have been told not to depend on them, but you are told, for in their case, to help them. Can you read for us Galatians chapter 6? And I'm finishing as we go to questions. Galatians chapter 6, verse 1 to 5. Is there another Jerry? Or there's only one Jerry here? Who has it? Just read it out. Galatians 6.
My brothers and sisters, if someone is caught in any kind of wrongdoing, those of you who are spiritual should set him right, but you must do it in a gentle way and keep an eye on yourselves so that you will not be tempted to help to carry one another's burden.
That's the first instruction. Don't just carry your burden. Help others to carry their burden.
And in this way, you will obey the law of Christ. If someone thinks he or she is somebody, when really they are nobody, they are only deceiving themselves. You should each judge your own conduct. If it is good, then you can be proud of what you yourself have done without having to compare it with what someone else has done. For we each have our own load to carry.
Are you getting it? Verse 2 says, carry each other's. Verse 5 says, no. Carry your own. It's not like contradicting itself within the same passage. One part is saying, carry each other's. But you know that's what people like. Then they imagine, that means I can stop working and my ankle will continue. Then you go to verse 5 and say, no. Each person has to carry his own burden. So that I'm emphasizing that you cannot be somebody who, first of all, we have agreed you must not be dependent on others. Carry your own load. But you're also learning, the same Bible wants you to carry other people's burden. So you cannot be dependent. So you are not allowed to be dependent. You are not allowed to be dependent. So you must become interdependent. What is interdependent? We help each other. You're not just one helping and the other one doesn't. We help one another. And that's really how you treat your as a team. You make sure you do your work. Don't keep saying, but they haven't helped me. You have no right to ask them to help you. You have had each must carry his own load. And you know that's really the problem. You know, some of us, when we get sick, we even ask Auntie Kam, no. Even Hassan. We even write down how many people are coming. And when we get someone has not come, and the other I'm sick. It's like when you are sick, the whole town must get sick. Everybody, you can't understand why anybody is going to work. When you are sick, it's because you haven't read the Bible. The Bible is saying others are not sick. You are the one sick. Why do you want them to come to hospital? Did you hear that? Everybody carry his own. So when you are sick, why are you asking me to get sick? And if you think I'm creating it, go to Philippians chapter 2 and hear a guy called Epaphroditus. The Bible says Epaphroditus was unhappy because he had heard that he was sick. And actually he was sick to the point of death. Have you read that story? Something was not a Kenyan. When a Kenyan gets sick, he wants the whole world to know he is sick. This guy was unhappy that they had heard that he was sick. And Paul adds, actually the guy was so sick to the point of death. And yet he did not want people to know. Am I communicating? Yes. Are you understanding this concept of independent and interdependent? Yes. That this idea of when you have a problem, the whole church takes your problem. It's not scriptural. It's African, but it's not scriptural. You need to understand your clan is not your problem. That's why you need a medical scheme. Don't start saying, no, if I get sick, they will come to pay my bills. Why did you have a medical scheme? Of course, even a medical scheme, it can run out. And at that point, you know you need your partisan. But the initial one, shouldn't be calling Harambe. Okay, my point? That's what we are learning. Each person will carry his own. However, whereas you are not allowed to ask us for help, we are not allowed to allow you to suffer alone. That's what he read. Carry each other's burden. So when we hear you are sick, you should be telling us, no, don't come. And we should say, we must come. Okay, is the argument? Yeah. You should not be allowing us to come, yet they are saying we must come. But you know, in Africa, that's not our problem. Our problem is you want all of us to get involved. Your child goes to university, you want all of us to take him to university. As if you did not know he was going to You want to get married, you want to do a Harambee. And some of them don't want to spend a single shilling on their wedding. If they want us to be the ones to pay for their as if we are getting married. Carry your own budget. You know the reason why I'm reading it? The reason I'm reading it in the Bible is because if I said it, you would think I'm the one saying it. Are you hearing it from the Bible? Yes. So it's our culture and Christianity are so mixed. We sometimes want to say what is done in our culture is Bible. So the Bible has said you should not be asking people to take over your burden. Each person will carry his own burden. But the church has also been told, don't allow him to suffer with his own burden. So you are saying I don't come, and we are saying we must come. So we should be the ones trying to come to help you. Not you asking us to come. And when you don't come, you should feel very happy that we never came. Because you never wanted us to come. These days, if you don't come, you may even leave the church. Because your burden has become everybody's burden. Now, that's what work helps you. I'm finishing. Work helps you to earn an income so that you don't become dependent on others. But number two, it also allows you to earn an income so that you can help others. Thank you very much. It's question time. I've provoked some questions, so let's discuss them. Yes.
The motivation.
Yes.
Sometimes we experience students having much of absenteeism.
Yes.
Now, how can you motivate them?
I think 3 things. Number one, don't condemn the student. It may be that he has a very good reason for the absenteeism. My wife used to teach A-level economics before A-level disappeared. And it tells me about the story of a boy who was not showing up, coming late. He felt, before telling the headmaster, he needed, and he called her aside. Then he remembered the boy, the father had left him, the mother had gotten sick, he was actually eating out of the dustbin. And because it was a day school, he used to come hungry. Now, you know now she had got to her pocket to try to buy him breakfast. Earlier you are condemning, then you realize, even for him to show up late is already a lot of effort. Because even if he never came, it's understandable. Am I communicating? Yes. So the teacher, and that's one of the things I don't understand about teachers these days. When I was in school in the 60s and early 70s, our teachers used to be involved and would drive, these Wazungus, would drive to our homes. They paid me the school fees. African teachers, the argument is, after all, they have cousins, they are paying for. So they don't bother with their own students. So you don't see as much involvement about African teachers with their students as compared, am I right, Jose? When you went to high school, you remember? Yes. The teachers were involved with us. So that's the first thing you need to deal with. Do you really understand what this student is going through? That will help. Thing number 2, in order to motivate him to come, you need to ask to show him. Not just tell him come. Tell him the dangers of not coming. Why is it important to come to class and to come regularly? Don't assume if you know. After all, he's a 20-year-old. How can he not know? It's age does not equal knowledge. Am I right? Yeah. So it's important to find a way of giving him a reason to come to class. Only thirdly should you use a stick. Because again, if the parents have paid the school fees and the boy is not coming, you may not encourage him to waste the parents' money. But that is number 3, where you now start talking about this. Are we together? Yes. Okay. Anybody else? And remember, I'm not an expert in that area, so I'm only giving my contribution. Any other comment or question? But the question does not have to have anything to do with anything I have said. It was left in the program as a general time for discussion. It's called discussion. So it doesn't have to be anything to do with what I say. Then we'll be able to leave before 4. Because I was fighting so that we don't reduce the time for open questions.
Can you emphasize on the money aspect of payment of salaries to the division of the teachers?
I know you also have a point. Why don't you say it first?
Because we have tried and we see no improvement.
You have tried to do what?
To pay salaries on time and higher salaries compared with the other institutions. But we see no improvement.
You know, I may not have a way of answering here, but in Shell, the way we did it, since you never pay enough salary, there is no salary you ever pay that is enough. Have you seen the doctors are given 40% above? As they say, we are still out. Did you see that?
Yes.
So it's as long as they think they can get more, nobody will accept less. So that's a problem with the salaries. So the way we are doing it in Shell is to have a salary survey well done by the independent party, not by Shell, but Pricewaterhouse used to do the salary survey. So to understand similar institutions, how are they paying similarly qualified people for similar work. And then it was a commitment of Shell that they should never pay less than 50% of the highest guy. Are we together? In other words, you don't have to pay the highest. Because if you are the highest, you may be overpaying. Because you see, if everybody is paying 10,000 shillings for this job, and you are paying 15, and nobody else is near you, you are the one pulling the salaries up, isn't it? So that's not recommended. So you should be somewhere around the 75 percentile. In other words, you are not out there, but you are above average. Am I communicating? But you have to do, and the survey should not be done by the college. It needs to be done independently. Because if the college does it, the workers will not believe it. The thing is faked up, isn't it? So you need an independent one so that you can understand, even if I was working elsewhere in a similar institution, I'm likely to earn less, not more. That's the first way to deal with the issue of salaries. So that it's no longer now a debate. You should be able to say you are well remunerated. Why? Here is the study. It shows you that job group for job group, you are earning above average, although you may not be the ones at the very top. That having been done, I think the other thing is to create a performance system that is measurable. Because the trouble with the performance is that the boss may think you are lazy. You think you are hardworking. unless you have an independent system, there's no way you will be clear whether you're working hard or you're not working hard. So you need a system where at the beginning of the year, you agree these three things. What is the job objectives? Number one, they must agree between you and the supervisor and your supervisor. You must agree this job exists to meet these objectives this year. Step number two, how will you measure that you have achieved the objective or not? You don't measure tasks, you measure objectives. What does the job seek to meet? Then how will you measure? And that's the most difficult thing. Because if you don't know how to measure, then you cannot later say somebody never performed. So you need to agree, the two of you, how to measure the performance. Okay? Then number three, talk about the target. Or that, given that measure, what will be the target you can expect? 100% may be too high, isn't it? So what exactly is a reasonable target? Then at the end of the year, I have completely demobilized the supervisor. Because when I do my own self-appraisal, he cannot contradict it. Because the arguments were at the beginning of the year. For example, I'm a receptionist. The objective of receptionist is to have happy customers or clients or visitors. I don't know what you call them, isn't it? The next thing is to ensure that her budget, assuming she oversees, the budget is not overrun. Another objective. The other thing, to ensure that he is always smiling. And that he does not answer the customer back with the same quarrelsome voice as they are giving. I mean, you agree what our objective is. Then the more difficult thing is to find out how do you measure smileability. How do you measure it? So you have to debate it until you agree. The way to measure smileability is to do a survey among the staff and ask them, Wajiko smiles all the time. And you can say, more, I agree, disagree, agree, strongly agree. Are we together? Yes. If the majority don't agree with you, then you never smile. Now, okay, if you agree that is the measure, then it's automatic. We'll just pass a survey. If they say you don't smile, you lose your bonus. Because the truth is, we agree to measure it by a survey on smiling. Are we together? Yes. So the hardest thing is to agree the measure. Once the measure is agreed, you will never quarrel with your boss. Your boss may be annoyed with you, but he still has to give you bonus. Because you see, the measure shows you did well, isn't it? But many organizations rely on what I think. The way this guy looked at me, he doesn't like me. So when it comes to appraisal, you don't like people. What I mean is you don't like me, but that's not the way I write it. You don't like people. But we never agreed how to measure like a penalty. Are we together? So it's important that that performance management system is set up which empowers the worker to know they never performed. You know, you can perform so badly, you just resign. Because it's not that the other person doesn't like you. The result says you never performed, doesn't it? On the basis that you agreed how to measure. So that will help you. So the salary doesn't become just an issue. How are you actually performing? And it will be important to do it. But thirdly and importantly, there must be a clear motivation. There must be something you get for performing. Salary, equal salary for equal work. But you need to come to where the one who works harder gets more than the others. You know that there's a salary scale, but there are bonus or some system of paying people who perform beyond their expectations. Are we together? Then there will be, so that it's not just the salary, because the trouble is, I need one's Maslow's law. I need one satisfied ceases to be motivated. Are we together? So salary, if you are giving me my scale, you can't just make me it. I expect it, isn't it? The bonus is the one that helps people to know you can get zero or, because bonus is not your right. The majority of people don't get bonus. Bonus only are people who get bonus. And you must, but they cannot be on the basis of who is liked and who is not liked. Have I answered? That's the emphasis you wanted me to do?
Yes.
Okay then. Anybody else? Yes. Oh, you're pointing this.
Mine, I want you to assist us in marketing. When I mention marketing, in this sense, we are trying to market to the center by using various means, but it is not clicking. So how do we go wrongly, or we are supposed to upgrade our games?
Is there somebody with a job of marketing?
Yes.
The marketing department?
Yes.
Are the objectives clear? Is how to measure them clear?
Yes.
Is the assessment okay? You see, he has already assessed them. Are you in marketing? And according to you, marketing is not performing. He has already come to a conclusion they are not performing. Anyway, that is a big subject I'm only playing down with, but it's very important because if they are not students, you have no jobs, isn't it? Yes. I can only make 3 or 4 suggestions. Number 1, CITC is owned by a church. Am I right?
Yes.
So, there should be free publicity throughout all the churches. Whether it's an announcement that the bishop passes to all of them around November, you take your student in January. January? Yeah, so it needs to be November, February,
No, January.
2 months to the time you take. You need to be able to send. Now, if you are doing it, okay. If you are not doing it, that's something. There should be a circular 2 months to the taking in that shows what what you need and what advantages an Anglican gets that other people don't get, so they can come to you. That's one method, and it's cheap. The other method is using your students who have qualified and are working to give testimonies. In other words, you ask them to take leave, then you pay for their transport, and they can go around churches giving testimonies of how they benefited from CITC. Because now they're not saying it, but now you can see a live person. And then you'll be outside after the church to answer questions. Do people really get work? Just learning how to beautify. Is there a market for beauticians? Because the parents don't understand. But if there's a girl who has actually gone through the school and is earning money through, is it called beautician?
Hairdressing and beauty.
And beauty. Yeah, I think that's the. Are you getting the second strategy? Yeah, that needs to be done, but that will cost money. That's why I gave the first one, which is just circulars being issued by the bishop. But the second one will cost you money because you have to pay for his transport or for their transport as they move around your area of capture. Thirdly, and importantly, is how good your website is in terms of advertising. How live is it? Are you taking students through the website? And is there communication in the website? What about in Facebook? Because this is where the young people are, isn't it? Yes. So you need a development that keeps your Facebook page, your social media system live and working continuously. So people are interacting with it and it's kept up to date. You don't say that you are taking students on 3rd of November and after January it is still reaching 3rd of November. It needs to show that there is a new intake. And you are not emphasizing the old one, you are emphasizing there, which is one of the problems of digital world. Updating something is quite a job. So don't have a website and then there is somebody who is responsible for updating. And the objective needs to be clear and need to be measured as to whether they are really keeping it updated. Now, that's another way of trying to ensure that people actually know. And those are all cheap methods. The other method is for you to actually place adverts around November, the same month, in the radio, in the TV, in the newspapers. But that is not cheap. That's why I placed this last. Because some people don't know what is CITC. You say CITC, they ask, what is that? Now, how do you expect them to send children to you? And they don't even know who you are. They don't even know C stands for Christian. They may think you are a coward. Because they don't know who you are. And you know, there are times CITC was a very big name. In the 60s and 70s, you'll be told what I'm saying. It was a big name. Now, but somehow, slowly, the name has gone. According to me, I may be wrong. But the name has gone. Now, no, you can't. If you meet 10 people in the street at CITC, do you know what is CITC? You might have 8 who tell you, is it a church? Or is it a society? What is it? You know, so you need to get to where about 6 people will be able to say they know what it's about. And that will require quite a bit of work. But that's not my topic today. But I allowed you to ask me the question. Does that help? Yes. Okay. Who wants to be the last person to talk? It doesn't have to be a question. Is there something you have gained out of today? And as you share it, it will help somebody else to remember something else, to help him to go home with. More importantly, I hope there will be something you do differently because you came for this workshop. I would like to encourage you before you sleep tonight to write 1 page of your action plan. Things you are going to do differently because you attended the workshop. Don't say what the boss will do or what the board will do. What will you do yourself differently because you came to the workshop? But before then, you can share something. You're also free to say that it was not a useful day. We are encouraging honesty, isn't it? Yeah, you also allowed. But if it's benefited you, also allowed to say. Yes.
And mine might be somehow personal. What was your area of specialization? Because somehow diversified in the engineering section, banking sector. What is your area of specialization?
That's what the two of you will be talking about. So that's personal, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, let's not involve the public. Any comment? Yes.
Yes, just a question. You deal with clients, and you also deal with clients. Maybe you can give us a guide on how we can get information about customers we serve and about our services. Maybe can be the problem that is causing our numbers. How the best approach to get information on our services.
The survey is called Customer Satisfaction Index. Customer satisfaction?
Yes.
And 3 things are required. You must have a customer database. You must be able to say who are people you have served. And I know you have different types of customers. Your students are customers, the parents are customers, your production unit sells items, isn't it? Yes. And those are still customers. You have to say which customers do you have in mind. Because there will be one group can be okay, the other one is not okay. So the first thing is to have a good database. Maintain a database. And you know, all you need is an Excel sheet where everybody you deal with, you enter. And if you enter their names, their addresses, and you can sort it out by address, sort it out by age, sort it out by type of service, it means you can analyze it. And then, so that's the first thing. The second thing is to prepare a customer satisfaction index, a survey, where you tell them, when you dealt with us, we charge reasonable fees. That is, you are dealing with parents. And then you say, if you got the Likert scale, strongly agree, not sure, disagree, strongly, disagree. Now you are trying to see, are they happy with your school fees, isn't it? Yeah. Now, my child was displayed when they stayed with us. Now I don't know what you are looking. It has, remember the questionnaire has to do with your objectives, isn't it? So, but in the end you'll know that the customers you are dealing with don't think what we think. We will think you are doing a wonderful job. They don't think we are doing a wonderful job. But it needs to be, so that's the second thing. You need a questionnaire that is using database. The third one, it must be independent. If they know you are asking them and you know who has answered, they will tell you what you want to hear. So that's what makes it expensive, because you need somebody other than the school to ask that question and commit to confidentiality that the school will not know. They will just have a total, but they will not know who said what. If you do that, you certainly will get a feeling of what the people think. And it won't be that expensive. It depends on which consultant you use. Okay.
Maybe if I can add on that, because CITC has several departments for addressing food and all that. I think it would be very helpful if somebody also knows where some of their students who have been trained have gone, so that they can go and ask the bosses or the people that they are working for how their performance is, so that that feedback is helped in the...
Because that's a good way of finding out.
Yeah.
Well, because your customer is the employer, isn't it? So you need to find out what does he think about your product.
Yes.
I think
If they
that
are
is
student, they are giving their all, or they are always bickering for more money.
okay. And by the way, that doesn't have to be expensive. The only thing is to do a good job will be expensive. But it's better to have something rather than nothing. So if you start with the ones where it's not costing you much money, as you get more money, you can increase it. Begin somewhere to get feedback. Okay? I think we say that is the last one. And it's actually 4 o'clock. So I'm handing over to Reverend. According to the program, it's a 2 months. The program says I'm handing over to you.